You meditate, you journal, you've read the books and done the workshops. You're genuinely on a spiritual path. So why in the world does it feel like your life is a revolving door for toxic people? One minute you're flying high, feeling totally connected and aligned, and the next you're tangled up with someone who drains your energy. They dismiss your spirit, and it leaves you feeling smaller than you have ever felt before. It's a deeply frustrating and painful cycle. You're doing all of the inner work. So why does it feel like your outer world is reflecting back nothing but chaos, manipulation, and heartache? Why do you, a person trying to cultivate so much light, keep attracting so much darkness? What if I told you it has nothing to do with bad luck? What if it's not a punishment or a sign that your spiritual path isn't working? What if this pattern is actually a direct, painful result of your spiritual gifts? What if the very qualities that make you a radiant, evolving soul are the exact same ones that, if you are not careful, can make you a magnet for toxicity? Stay with me, because we're about to decode the energetic reasons behind this draining cycle. And more importantly, we're going to figure out how to shift your energy so that you can stop being a beacon for toxic relationships and finally start attracting the divine, respectful, and soul nourishing connections you actually deserve. Let's just be honest about what this pattern feels like. It's confusing. You walk into a relationship, friendship, romance, even with family, with such an open heart. You're ready to give, to heal, and to connect on a really deep level. But somehow you end up constantly walking on eggshells, always anxious about the other person's mood or what they're going to do next. You feel your sense of worth getting chipped away by little jabs, constant criticisms, or just outright contempt that makes you feel tiny. Maybe you've been gaslit, where your own reality is twisted up so much you start to doubt your own sanity. Or maybe you've been slowly cut off from your friends and support system, making you feel completely dependent on the very person who's draining the life out of you. The most devastating part is the spiritual burnout. The joy, the light, and the vibrancy you worked so hard to build inside yourself just starts to dim, and you're left wondering where that happy person went. The absolute worst part of this is the self-blame. You start thinking, maybe I'm the problem. You might even get trapped in a dangerous misreading of the spiritual laws, believing that you somehow manifested this abuse with your thoughts. This just traps you into a cycle of toxic hope, thinking that if you just be more positive or more loving, they'll finally change. This isn't just wrong, it's a spiritual bypass that keeps you stuck. The truth is way more complex. The law of attraction isn't just about like attracts like, it's about our deepest, often subconscious, energetic state calling out for experiences to show us exactly what is ready to be healed. Here's the core concept. The ancient principle, as within, so without, is everything here. Your external world is a mirror of your internal world. A toxic relationship isn't some random, unlucky event. It's a spiritual catalyst. Think of it as a soul level assignment meant to show you the parts of yourself that are crying out for attention and healing. These painful connections aren't your destiny, but they are your teachers. And today we're going to finally learn the lessons they were sent to teach us. So let's break down the 5 main energetic reasons a spiritual person keeps attracting these draining connections. Reason number 1, you're operating from a healer or a savior complex. As a spiritual person, your empathy is probably one of your greatest superpowers. You feel things deeply, you care a ton, and you have this built-in desire to soothe other people's pain. That's beautiful, but it can also be a huge vulnerability. Toxic people, especially the narcissists, are masters at sensing this quality. They are drawn to your light, not to be healed, but to use it up. They show up looking all broken, telling you all these stories about their past wounds that trigger your desire to fix them. You see their potential, not their reality. You fall in love with the idea of who they could be if someone would just love them enough. You fall in love with the idea of who they could be if someone would just love them enough. And you pour all your energy into making that happen. But it's a trap. Your role is essential to their drama, but your efforts almost never lead to their growth. Instead, you wind up emotionally drained and resentful, while they stay exactly the same because they never planned on doing the work themselves. Your spiritual gift of healing becomes their personal supply. Reason number two, you have unresolved inner wounds. Toxic people are like mirrors. They have an almost spooky ability to trigger our deepest, unhealed childhood wounds. If you grew up in a home where love felt chaotic or you felt as though you had to earn it, your subconscious mind may actually equate that roller coaster of drama and intensity with love. What feels like chemistry or butterflies in the beginning might just be your nervous system going, "Oh, I recognize this. It's pain, but at least it's familiar." These relationships aren't random. They're often a subconscious attempt to go back and fix an old emotional wound. You're trying to finally win the love you never got or fix that original broken dynamic. The toxic person senses these vulnerabilities in you: your fear of abandonment, your need for validation, your shaky self worth, and uses them to hook you. They perfectly mirror back your own self abandonment or inner critic. The relationship becomes a painful spiritual lesson, forcing you to finally turn around and heal the part of you that believes you deserve this kind of treatment. Reason number three, you have porous energetic boundaries. A lot of spiritual people and empaths have a naturally open and welcoming energy. You want to connect, you want to share, you want to be real. But without conscious protection, that openness can become a huge liability. Think of it this way: weak or non existent boundaries make you a prime target for vampire energy. People who don't have their own inner light and literally feed off the vitality and the empathy of others to feel okay. This looks like being the person who can listen for hours but never gets heard in return. It looks like tolerating disrespect because you want to be understanding and you hate confrontation. It's telling someone your whole life story way too soon when it's really just gathering information to manipulate you with later. Toxic people will constantly push and poke at your boundaries to see what they can get away with. If you always give in, forgive them without any changed behavior, or make excuses for them, you're sending out a signal that says, "My energy's up for grabs." Your beautiful spiritual self in oneness gets twisted into unconditional tolerance for abuse. Reason number four, you misunderstand what forgiveness really is. As a spiritual person, you believe in grace, compassion, and forgiveness. You know that holding on to anger only poisons you. But toxic people and spiritual narcissists know how to exploit this beautiful quality. They count on you trying to see the good in them. They know you'll give them the benefit of the doubt, not just once, but over and over again. They rely on your compassionate heart to get away with behavior that most people would never put up with. Here's the thing: true spiritual forgiveness is about releasing the energetic grip a person has on you. It's not just about giving them a pass to come back and hurt you again. You can forgive someone from a distance. You can send them love and wish them healing on their own path, while also making the powerful choice to remove them from your life. Confusing forgiveness with reconciliation is a huge mistake that keeps the toxic cycle spinning. You give them a pass they haven't earned, and then they use your goodness as a place to hide. Reason number five, you are avoiding your own shadow. Sometimes the secret appeal of a toxic relationship is the nonstop drama it provides. For some of us, that emotional roller coaster is an unconscious way to distract ourselves from our inner emptiness or pain. The chaos keeps you focused on them, on fixing them, or navigating the latest crisis, so you don't have to face the parts of yourself that you've been avoiding. Maybe it's your own secret desires, your broken dreams, or your feelings of not being good enough. A relationship with a narcissist often kicks off with an intense love bombing where they sell you a fantasy life that speaks directly to your unfulfilled needs. They promise to be the one who will finally see you, to protect you, or build that life with you. It feels amazing. But this whole dynamic lets you avoid the hard, necessary work of building your own self worth from the inside out. In a way, the toxic relationship becomes a spiritual bypass, an external drama that keeps you from doing the internal work. Breaking free means you have to turn inward and find the validation, security, and wholeness you were hoping they would give to you. Just recognizing these patterns is the first, most powerful step you can take. But how do you actually break the cycle for good? It's all about shifting from reacting to these energies to consciously creating your reality. First, reclaim your energy through fierce self love. I'm not talking about bubble baths, I'm talking about radical self respect. It means learning to trust that feeling in your gut that says, this doesn't feel right, and actually doing something about it. People who truly love themselves don't stick around when a charming partner turns dark because that low vibrational energy feels repulsive to them. Practice self compassion and affirm your own worth every single day. Second, master the art of energetic boundaries. Boundaries are just self love in action. Learn to say no without feeling guilty. Limit your time with people who consistently leave you feeling drained. Be picky about who you share your sacred energy with. Before you interact with people, visualize a shield of protective light around you. This isn't about being cold or closed off. It's about being a good steward of your own life force. Third, commit to healing your core wounds. This is the deep work. Whether if it is through therapy, inner child work, or other healing practices, you have to go back and give your younger self the safety, validation, and unconditional love you might not have gotten. When you heal that original wound, you no longer feel that subconscious pull towards relationships that just repeat the same pain. You stop looking for something outside of you that you've already built from within. And finally, redefine your spiritual purpose. Shift your focus from healing others to healing yourself. The most powerful way that you can help the world is becoming a healed, whole, and high vibrational person yourself. When you raise your own frequency, you naturally push low vibrational people out of your orbit and become a magnet for others who resonate on your level. Your light becomes a beacon for healthy, divine connections, not a snack for those living in the dark. This journey out of toxicity is nothing less than a sacred act of reclaiming your power. It is the ultimate spiritual practice. You are not broken, and you are not destined to be alone. You are simply being called to a higher level of self awareness and self love. If this message resonated with you, please give this video a like and subscribe for more on spiritual empowerment. And maybe share it with someone you feel might need to hear your story today. In the comments below, I want you to affirm, I am a magnet for divine connections. Let's declare that together. Remember, the goal isn't to never encounter a difficult person ever again. The goal is to become so rooted in your own worth and so clear in your energy that when they do show up, you can clearly bless them on their way and keep walking in the direction of your own light. Thanks for being here. And until I see you at the next one, I'm wishing you peace, love, and all the berries.